On the horizon, we have our first assignment, the e-learning project proposal, which is due during week 2. And if you click on assignments on the course website and scroll on the page, you'll find the e-learning project proposal information, including a specific document that will have all the requirements and also the evaluation rubric. So this is just going to be a proposal for an e-learning lesson. It's going to be a small assignment. It's only worth 10 points, and it's basically just a 2-3 page document that you will produce. The first 2 pages of that document will give you an overview of how to go about determining the scope of your project. And this section will just give you ideas on how to make up your mind in terms of what you want to cover in this project. It is not anything that you need to discuss in your particular paper. It's just ideas on how to decide. So, regarding the project scope, you get to choose your own subject, you get to choose the educational context for which you want to decide, and you want to choose the technology to design, deliver, and also develop the project. So, why is this important? In this class, you're going to be dealing with content, you're going to be dealing with instructional design, and you're also going to be dealing with technology. And so it is in your best interest if you already know the content and the technology, because you certainly will be learning about instructional design for e-learning. So if you really want to deal with new content, you have never developed that content for online delivery, or you don't know the content, or you really want to learn a new technology, just make sure that you have plenty of time, because you will need it, especially if it's one of those technologies with a very steep learning curve. You're going to need a lot of time, and so make a decision based on how much time you will have for this term. Also remember Murphy's Law, always a good rule of thumb to keep it in mind. So for the project, you're going to choose a subject, and you are going to divide that subject into 5 topics. And for each topic, you are going to target one learning objective. Don't make it any more complicated than that. Just one objective per topic, but you're going to have 5 topics for that subject. Make sure that you only teach the very basics of that subject. Even if it's 5 topics, keep it at a very basic level. And the reason for that is that for each topic, you're going to have to probably have an introduction screen or page. And then you're going to have a screen or page where you present the information, and that is what Horton will call absorb types of activities. Then you're going to have probably another screen where you will allow your learners to practice, and that's what Horton calls do. And then probably an additional screen where you will have your students do connect type of activities, and that is usually activities where they can reflect on what they have learned, or they can connect to other learners regarding what they're learning. Final screen for each topic will always be an assessment. It doesn't matter if you don't want to grade your learners, you always have to assess whether the learners are learning from the products that you create. So for each topic, for each objective, you will have a form of assessment, whichever way it is. It doesn't matter, but you do have to have it. So you're going to have to do that for all 5 topics. And right here, if you divided that into screens, separate screens, then you would already have 25 screens to deal with, or 25 pages to deal with. And this is already bordering on difficult to manage for 5 or 7 weeks that we have available. Now, if on top of that you keep your topic at a complex level, that you would have to include even more than 1 screen just for presenting the information, and that would happen to each one of your topics, then you would end up with many more screens than this, and it would not be very manageable for you. I don't want anybody to go crazy because of this class. I want everybody to make sure at the beginning, when you're making these decisions, keep it manageable, keep it at the micro level, keep it small. So just with these many screens, you would be okay as far as fulfilling the requirements of that assignment, as far as I'm concerned. And the importance of this is that by week 5, you actually have to have all the content in written format for your paper prototype. It doesn't have to be digital yet, but it has to be written down as if it was a script. You have to have all the instructional content, and that includes all the text you will include, all the graphics you will include. If you are including video or animation, you have to have either the video created or a script and a storyboard for each video or animation. You would have to have audio files created. You would have to have all the instructions that the students need to read to complete your module, your lesson successfully. And you have to have all the assessments created. Also, in the paper prototype, you have to include instructions for developers. Remember that the intention of that paper is that you work on it as if you were to hand it into somebody else to create it. So you have to be very clear into what goes into that module when it becomes a digital version of your lesson. And then by week 7, you have to basically have a fully functional e-learning lesson in digital format using whichever technology you decided that you were going to use.